The woman threw away her boyfriend's engagement ring. She pulled out her SIM card. She boarded a plane to go abroad. Her boyfriend thought she was just throwing a tantrum until HR placed the woman's resignation letter in front of him. Only then did he realize that his girlfriend had really left, ignoring the scheming woman's obstruction. He drove to the airport to stop her. Little did he know, everything today was his own doing. It turned out the woman's name was Aurora. 3 days ago, she had a car accident. Helpless, she called her boyfriend Benjamin, but Benjamin said he was in a meeting and hurriedly hung up the phone. In fact, Benjamin was right at the scene of the accident. Just because the scheming woman said she was afraid of blood, he completely ignored Aurora and drove past her. In the hospital, Aurora learned the accident had caused her to lose her child. Heartbroken, she called Benjamin to tell him, but when she unlocked her phone, she saw, at that moment, Benjamin was with the scheming woman. Aurora was completely disappointed in him. She immediately called an overseas company and said she would report to work there next week. That night, Aurora was preparing her resignation agreement. Benjamin walked in. She hurriedly hid the agreement. Benjamin instinctively picked up the water glass, but found it empty. He recalled how every night when he came home, Aurora would always pour him a glass of water, but he always pushed it away with disdain. Benjamin thought Aurora was angry because he hadn't gone to see her in the hospital, so he said impatiently, "That's just a minor injury." Aurora was just about to mention the child when Benjamin angrily interrupted her and said he was very busy, not to bother him over such trivial matters, and even warned her this was the last time. Aurora looked at his departing back and signed the new employment contract without hesitation. The next morning, while packing her clothes, she found intimate clothing that wasn't hers. She immediately understood it was the scheming woman's doing. So, during the meal, she threw the clothing onto Benjamin. Benjamin explained in a panic, but Aurora said there was no need to explain. Seeing this, Benjamin suggested driving her to work to ease the tension between them. Aurora was about to agree, but then Benjamin received a call from the scheming woman, so he made up an excuse about work and left Aurora behind alone. Aurora arrived at the company. She overheard colleagues gossiping about Benjamin and the scheming woman. Only then did she realize Benjamin had rushed off earlier simply because the scheming woman had a stomachache. Aurora was disheartened. She went to her office to pack her things and found the ring Benjamin had given her 7 years ago. Benjamin had once promised that once the company went public, he would propose to Aurora. Aurora had once dreamed about the company going public. Now it was finally about to happen, but Benjamin had betrayed her. Aurora gave a faint smile and tossed the ring into the trash can. At that moment, Benjamin sent her a message, ordering Aurora to make a cake. Seeing she didn't reply, he thought she was still upset about the morning, so he came to Aurora's office and warned her not to make a big deal out of it. Aurora reminded him they were at work. She would only talk about work. Benjamin questioned why she hadn't replied. Only then did Aurora notice the message. She remembered how, in their 7 years together, she had always made his birthday cakes by hand. So Aurora asked Benjamin, "What kind do you want?" But Benjamin pulled out the scheming woman's profile picture and told Aurora to make it like her. Aurora was furious, but she suppressed her anger and decided to use this cake as her final farewell. Benjamin noticed the ring in the trash can. Just as he was about to check it, the scheming woman pulled him away. That evening, Aurora brought the cake she had made and delivered it to Benjamin. The scheming woman, right in front of her, showed affection with Benjamin, even feeding him cake. Aurora did not get angry at this sight. She took out the resignation agreement for Benjamin to sign. Benjamin, enjoying the scheming woman's feeding, signed it without even looking. At this moment, the scheming woman noticed Aurora's bracelet looked familiar and said she had seen one like it in the trash. It turned out this bracelet was a gift from Aurora to Benjamin, and Benjamin had promised never to take it off, but now Benjamin had thrown it away. Aurora knew he had already forgotten his promise. She took off her bracelet and tossed it on the table, then turned and walked out of the office. Aurora went to HR and said she wanted to complete her resignation process, but HR refused to process it, saying tonight was the company's IPO banquet and they were still waiting for Aurora to attend. Aurora handed him the signed resignation agreement and said she was in a hurry to catch her flight. Then she left immediately. That evening, at the company's IPO banquet, everyone warmly welcomed Aurora and Benjamin to come on stage. Benjamin had also prepared a 10-carat diamond ring, planning to propose to Aurora, but Aurora never showed up. The scheming woman said Aurora might be too angry to come. The CEO said that was impossible. Aurora had waited 7 years for this day. At that moment, HR hurried onto the stage and told Benjamin that Aurora had already resigned. Benjamin couldn't believe it. He questioned HR, saying without his approval, who dared to let Aurora resign? HR handed him the document he had signed. Thinking back on Aurora's recent unusual behavior, he realized Aurora was leaving him. Benjamin grew extremely anxious. He canceled the company's IPO and pushed his secretary aside, then rushed out to find Aurora. Unexpectedly, Benjamin got stuck on the road to the airport. He learned that Aurora's plane was taking off in half an hour, so he called her phone over and over again, but she never answered. So Benjamin abandoned his car and ran to the airport. When he finally reached the airport, Aurora was already nowhere to be seen.